I have over 100,000 Anki cards across 16 languages. In fact, I have more than 16 languages in total. However, as you can see in front of you, 2 of them, Arabic and Ukrainian, I still haven't done my reviews for the day, but I haven't done my reviews for well over a year at this point, so they're not very active. But if you look at any one of the other decks, and you switch the view to looking at your entire collection as opposed to just one of the decks, you can scroll down and see 93,500 mature cards, 15,000 young cards, and still quite a few new cards that I haven't gotten around to looking at yet. A lot of people ask how much Anki is too much. At what point are you just wasting your time looking at flashcard after flashcard without ever learning to actually speak or understand the language? I don't have the answer to that question. I do know that by using these decks over and over again for years, I've been able to maintain a certain intermediate level of proficiency in some of the languages that otherwise I would not have been able to do. Specifically, if I take a look at my German deck, for example, which is my oldest deck, I have around 10,000 cards. And any one day it gives me around 25 cards to review. Most of the cards are due in a very long time. Many of these cards are advanced words, words that you would learn at the very least if you're at a B2 level, or learning to be at a B2 level, or maybe at a C1 or C2 level. Words that I've seen in books, words or idioms that I've seen, sometimes quotes from famous philosophers or famous German language quotes that are simply known in general in German-speaking countries. And without seeing 25 or so of those words and sentences every day, I would not have been able to continue to read, listen, and understand them years after I've stopped actively learning the language. I can say the same thing for Italian, which is my second oldest deck. I haven't been to an Italian class in 2.5 years. The last class I took was B2.2, so sort of the class that in theory is supposed to get you to a B2 level in Italian. I made around 7,000 cards, most of which are intermediate or advanced words, so I'd only started making that deck around the time when I had already stopped being a new beginner in the language. And because of that, I have 3,500 words, because every word has 2 cards, right? It's 2-sided. 3,500 words and expressions that I can now still remember, despite the fact that I've moved on to other languages and that I don't actively open a book most days or even most weeks in Italian at all. What do I do in Italian? Sometimes I speak it. Very often I'll watch content on YouTube or on the news in Italian, usually without subtitles, unless there's a specific reason why I would want to have subtitles for that particular content. And without that, although 3,500 words is not nearly enough to get you to an advanced level in a language, those extra 3,500 words that I keep remembering are what have helped me maintain that intermediate level for years, 2.5 years now. And if I look forward into the future, right now I'm learning Bulgarian quite heavily. In 5 years, in 10 years, next time I have a chance to go to Italy, hopefully before then, I'm still going to need those words. And unless I'm reading and talking a ton in Italian, which I no longer have the chance or the time to do because I simply have too many languages on my plate to be able to even be able to do that, I would not be able to remember all of those words. So do these 100 and something thousand Anki cards help me speak? No. Do they help me understand the accent or catch the meaning of words if they're said very quickly in a colloquial dialogue? No. But they provide that base that otherwise I would not have to keep understanding the language years later and after I've moved on and moved my brain, my mental energy, onto other things in life. That, to me, is the great benefit of spaced repetition.